dictionary.
This is very
Gesenius.
clear, but let's say
Is it Gesenius? Is it Gesenius? Which one
I'm
is
doing
it?
Strong's and also Brown's Driver Briggs. But let's say hypothetically that's correct.
Okay.
Let's say hypothetically.
So now we move on.
Hypothetically, if that definition is correct, that means it has to come
If
from
we
Islam.
keep moving on, you will see why we insist that this refers to a prophet.
Okay, we'll move to the next one.
Yeah.
The next point.
Okay.
Right, so we've done a prophet like Moses. We've both given our opinion.
Yes.
We've done in your midst.
Yes.
We've both given our opinion.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one.
Next one is.
Let me just pull it up again. The next one is from your brethren. Yeah?
Okay.
Of thy brethren.
Yes. So you see, we of thy brethren. Okay. Now, brethren here can mean Israelites, no doubt. Number one. Okay. I believe 100% brethren can mean Israelites, and predominantly in the Bible it means the Israelites. I'm being more honest than you probably expect, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Good, yeah.
And I'm not saying that you would expect any worse from me, because we've never had interaction before, right?
Yeah.
So I like to be as upright as possible
Great.
in these discussions. Okay,
well.
right.
Unless I'm
so,
really pressed.
But exceptionally, the term has been used for non-Israelites. Okay.
Yeah.
For Edomites, for example, who were Arabs, the same term in the Bible has been used for brethren.
Well, the word
right?
just means brother, so it can be used of any.
And this is where
Jacob and Esau were brothers.
Okay, this is where I take you back to the term qarib, okay, or qarib, which means people who are close, right? For example, I'll give you an example very quickly. In the Quran, we have a verse.
It doesn't mean that. We've gone to
No.
Wait,
Let me quickly explain. Let me quickly explain why
I don't want to let you get away with saying it means something without getting.
But let me explain, and you can disagree with me. No problem. Okay. In the Quran, we have a verse where it talks about people who are to be revered or who are to be taken care of, or there's a hierarchy of respect and attention in the Quran. For example, let me finish my point, and you will see where I'm coming from. Okay, Semitic languages usually, when they have the same words differently pronounced in those three Semitic languages, they usually mean the same thing. Okay. They usually mean the same thing. Okay.
Yeah, I disagree with that. I just want to go by the
and
dictionary
Semitic
definition.
languages, let me explain very quickly again. Semitic languages are very rich languages. A word can be used in different places or different contexts for different meanings, for example. Let me quickly give you an example here. In the Quran, this verse, it states, that you are to worship Allah, and then وَبِالْ وَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا وَالْيَتَامَى وَذِلْ قُرْبَى. Okay? Okay. But you have to be patient, because it's a discussion about languages, right? Dhil Qurba in Arabic can mean your close relatives or your relatives, generally, your relatives, right?
We're not talking about Arabic.
Okay.
We're talking about Hebrew.
Right.
The Hebrew word is clearly referring to your inward parts, the word in your midst.
Okay.
It's kereb in Hebrew, which means
You are insisting
you
you are insisting that it means that. I am saying it has a wider meaning. I'm saying it has a wider meaning.
You've not shown me any
I will.
authority for
I
that.
will.
Okay. I want Hebrew.
Okay. Let me Google it. Can someone Google for me quickly the Hebrew word for relatives? Hebrew word for relatives. Okay, we will see. We will get to it right now. Okay. Let's establish this before we go. Hebrew word for relatives, and we will see. What is it? Can you see a transliteration?
No, not that I can see.
Go back up.
My English dictionary, try that.
Sorry? No, relatives, generally, not specifically, not mother or not father, relatives.
Relatives is going to be brethren again.
No, that's brothers. There is a specific word for that in Hebrew, akha, okay, which is very similar to the Arabic language. Akhi, akhun, okay. So,
what's the dictionary definition? What's the dictionary say?
The problem is in dictionaries, when you go to dictionaries, what is the word? Karo. There you go.
Where did you get that from?
Okay,
this is probably
literally. Sorry, yeah.
But all the words in Hebrew
okay.
What's this website?
Kinsman, right? Yeah. Okay, relative. Okay. No. Wait. Look, there was no plan. This is not a conspiracy. Yeah, it's a Jewish website.
That still
Okay.
doesn't mean anything.
Okay, I don't even know what that is. Okay.
Dictionary,
So this is clearly not a conspiracy.
I don't want to be rude, or I just
This is
want
not.
a dictionary,
This
you
is
know?
okay. No. Pull that out again, please. Now you gave me a dictionary.
Yeah, I gave you a
Okay.
dictionary.
Okay.
yes.
I am giving you. This is
not a dictionary.
my claim. What was my claim? My claim was the term Qarib or Qarib or Qarib has wider meaning. You can't just put one meaning to it and say that's the only meaning this word has. Semitic languages do not work like that.
No,
this is what you have to
It does
understand.
have other meanings. Inward parts, your entrails.
But what about
you know.
relatives?
Is
that one of the meanings?
Dictionary. No, it's not a dictionary. Not
So
unless it's your brother.
you don't accept that? You
Yeah,
don't.
no, I don't accept that. Not unless it's
okay.
a dictionary.
Okay.
I want you to
We'll
say
leave it
some-
for the people now listening to
leave
us.
it to the people.
They need to go and do their research and see whether relatives is one of the meanings of Qarib.
And then we can
In
move
the
on to
Hebrew
the
language,
next
we can
part,
move
which
on to
is
the next part
brethren,
now.
right?
I've made my point that these terms, a lot of the words in Semitic languages have wider meanings. You can't just pin them down. You can't just pin them down and claim only one meaning. Okay. The meaning that may help you. Yeah,
I
okay.
can do a speech as well.
Like-
do a speech as well.
No, I haven't done a speech.
Yeah, you were just talking to the camera.
Okay.
Right, so the word kerub can have many meanings. It can
Yes,
have,
thank you.
Meanings of inward parts, like your entrails, and
Absolutely,
things like that.
absolutely.
That's what
All the
that's
things you read,
meaning.
yes.
So it's talking about in your midst, you know, within you. It
But
can mean within
is-
a group of people.
the question
or
is
within you,
one of the
within your
meanings
organs.
relatives?
That is no. The meaning is not relatives. No.
Okay, we will not move on until we we establish this. We will not move on until we show our friend here that relatives is one of the meanings of Qarib in the Hebrew language. And if that's
And
the
I want
case,
a dictionary.
then
I
you
want
will
authoritative dictionary.
Okay, then will you admit that your
Yeah. Look,
your
if you can show
argument?
me from a dictionary.
Yeah. Okay. I'll have to find
I'm
something
open
very
to being
quickly.
wrong. I just want to be
No,
proved
because
wrong
these
correctly.
discussions are very important. There are people watching out there,
Yeah.
and they deserve the best knowledge that is
You can show
available
me
out there.
A Hebrew dictionary that can apply that word.
Okay, so
to-
can you give me
to
that?
relatives, then we can accept that.
Can you check Gesenius?
Who's that?
Gesenius was a Hebrew dictionary. Okay, Gesenius. Gesenis, I think, or Nius.
G-E-S.
Senius, I think so. That's Gesenius Hebrew Dictionary. Yeah, there you go, Hebrew grammar. Okay. I hope you can find the word Qarib.
Is that online or?
Okay. Or just put spelling Qarib. Hebrew. Okay.
I think it's going to take someone to work.
I'm claiming that one of the meanings of Qarib is relatives. Okay,
You've claimed
and
that.
and
You
if
said-
that's true,
I tell you
if
what.
that's true, your argument crumbles.
Okay,
Your
let's-
argument.
let's-
This is
let's
why we
just-
move on to the next point.
Yeah, but let's just clarify. So if we,
And leave it- I
if
think
there
leave it
is
to-
a dictionary
yeah.
out there that says it, great, you've won your point. If there isn't, you've lost the
Okay,
point.
let's.
Okay?
Okay,
And if there
I'm so
isn't-
confident. I'm so
Yeah.
confident. I will let people do their research.
Okay, so would you be
Yeah.
so confident to say that if the word kereb does not mean relatives,
Yeah.
but it means in your midst or in your inner part?
No, those
then
those
if
are
that-
meanings.
Yeah,
Those
but if there is no other meaning than that, and your meaning is not
then
found,
my
would you
my
accept
my,
your
my
argument
then
falls
my
apart?
argument falls.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
All right, let's move on to brethren.
then I'm saying that meaning is there, and if it's there, then people can actually look at
Let
it.
them look at
Qarib, Q-O-R-E-B.
And what's the name of the dictionary that you suggested?
I don't know what the meaning of Qarib is in Gesenius. I want to check what Gesenius says on this, right? But have you found any meaning of Qarib? If you put Qarib, for example, Q-O-R-E-B,
Let the readers
meaning of Qarib.
Let the listeners talk. We'll move on. We'll move
Okay,
on to brethren.
because to find meanings of words
Because people
on
need
the
to do
on the-
research anyway,
yeah,
rather
absolutely.
than just listen to.
Now, next point is brethren. Okay, in the Hebrew language, what's the word there? I want you to read the word. And we're going to use the same method to reach the meaning of that particular word. Okay, brethren. What's the Hebrew word there for brethren? We're going on for, we're going on for too long to address a very simple and straightforward matter. But if we have to go through this exercise, no problem.
Okay, so now it's the word akh.
Akh. Okay, as I said to you earlier, That
Brother, definition brother,
same word in the Arabic language.
countryman.
Okay,
Yeah,
brother,
fellow
countryman.
countryman, which is why the NIV translated it fellow Israelite.
Okay, okay. And continue. What else?
It's got, you want me to read them all out?
Yeah, please.
Alike, another, brethren, brother, brother with his brothers, brothers, brotherhood, brothers, brothers, companions, countrymen, countrymen's, countrymen, fellow, fellow countrymen, fellow countrymen, fellows, kinsmen, kinsman, nephew, other, relative, relatives.
There you go. All these meanings, every single one of them supports my point. I'm saying, are the first question, are the Arabs directly related to the Israelites?
Ishmael was Isaac's brother.
Therefore,
and he was Jacob's uncle.
Therefore,
So he was a relative. He was a relative,
okay,
a distant relative.
okay.
It was
Now,
actually, and I think as well, when you look in the context, you've got the 12 tribes. We have to also remember that a valid option
absolutely.
is that it's one of the 12
We're not
tribes
talking about them
which are
yet,
12
because
brothers.
my point is not about them. My point, I'm claiming
Yeah, so your
that
point.
brethren here refers to the Arabs. I'm claiming that.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
claiming. You're not accepting that,
Yeah.
right?
So,
You're saying
why do you say the Arabs? Where did you get the Arabs?
the children of Ishmael,
So what makes you think they're children of Ishmael?
the Arabs,
Yeah.
because Ishmael was in Paran. Paran is Arabia. According to the Bible, Paran is Arabia.
No, Paran. I don't think Paran is Arabia. I think.
I'll show
Paran-
it to you from the Bible.
Yeah, show me.
Okay?
Yeah, show me.
Okay. First, do you accept that Ishmael was in Paran?
I'd have to have a look, but
Genesis 21. Chapter
because
21.
I think there's a whole bunch of scholarship
Okay.
on whether or not the Ishmael. So whether
No,
or
no.
not
First,
the Arabs
let
are actually,
first let us
Ishmaelites.
establish. First, let us establish where Ishmael is.
There were lots of people. The Jews were in Paran, right? The Jews were in Paran. You had Christians in Paran. You had lots of people in Paran, right?
Okay.
It was so close to Africa.
I'm saying
You had people
Ishmael
from
was in
Egypt
Paran.
there, you had heaps of people there.
Okay, no problem. But we're talking about Arabs, right? Right?
Yeah, but what makes you think the Arabs, just because the Arabs are in Paran 600 years after Jesus, which is over 1,000 years after Ishmael.
Arabs
I mean,
were-
Ishmael is what?
Wait.
Ishmael is
Are you aware of
2,500 years before
Are you
Muhammad.
aware
How
of
can we say
Are
that
you
that's
aware of archaeology of Arabia? Are you aware of it?
not a lot? No.
Okay.
I know a little bit.
The
little
Arabs,
bits and
the
pieces.
Arabs are there on Babylonian inscriptions.
Okay, no, yeah, but
Okay,
no,
this
I
is we're
know a
talking
little
about
bit.
8th
I know a
century
little bit.
BC, before Christ.
Yeah, but the Babylonians actually refer to them as a mix of people, from my memory of my study.
Okay.
And that they
No,
weren't
no.
actually- it was a bit
Babylonians-
of a hodgepodge.
Okay, show
of
me.
things.
Show me where the
Look,
Babylonians are.
Honestly,
Okay.
I don't know off the top of my head. You'd have
What
to
we
prove
do
your,
have from
your
Babylonian
argument too.
inscriptions
Show me
and
your
Assyrian inscriptions that the Arabs were seen as bandits, right? Robbers,
Yeah.
people. Okay,
Well, hang on,
and
does it say Arabs?
it shows Arabs.
You'd have
It
to
shows
show me that.
inscriptions.
Yeah, but you'd have to
Okay.
show me where it uses the term
Google
Arabs.
Babylonian inscriptions of Arabs. I will see right now. You will see Arabs
Yeah, I want you to
sitting
prove
on
every
camels.
point. I'm not gonna give you
Okay,
an inch.
raiding. Okay, and all scholars are unanimous. This is a
I don't
depiction
think
of.
so. I've read arguments that there really was no certain. There is
Look.
that really Arabness from what I've read on
you
scholarship
have an
was
attitude.
created
You have an
after
attitude.
Islam began.
I can see you have an attitude that anything I may present, you will not accept it.
Well, I want
Okay.
you to prove it.
I will prove it. But
Yeah.
if I cannot prove something to you because you don't want to accept anything I'm trying to prove, how can I prove it?
Well, you would have to show me
Because
some evidence.
people out there, they have to have this attitude of acceptance that, okay, if something is making sense, it's reasonable, okay, let's
I
accept
just
it.
want some evidence
Okay.
of what you're
Yes,
saying. I don't want it
absolutely.
to just- I don't
I'm
want it to
saying
be
the Arabs were
words.
there before Christ. 8, 7,
You,
I mean,
so
we
you
have...
can refer to the Arab. You can have inscriptions that refer to the Arabs
Okay.
as a people group, as a united people group,
Okay.
descended from Ishmael.
Okay, now let me
You've got
give you.
evidence.
Let's talk about the evidence. Let
Because
me
Ishmael is
give you the
thousands of
blow.
years
Let me give you the blow. You will not be able to respond to. Open the Bible, please.
Got my phone.
When was Isaiah revealed?
About 700 years before Christ.
Okay. When was I saying the Babylonian inscriptions come from? Assyrians, 8th century BC.
I think you were saying Babylonians, but
I
I think you
said-
meant Assyrian.
No, Assyrians and Babylonians.
Okay.
Yeah, 8th century BC. Assyrians. I'm talking about Assyrians. 8th century BC. And Isaiah was revealed
About 700.
same time,
BC, yeah.
approximately.
Yeah.
Book of Isaiah,
Yeah.
chapter 21. Verse 13.
And it says Arabs.
We will see. And
What-
read
what-
it loud,
what
please.
verse? Sorry.
Verse 13.
Let me get the chapter.
Isaiah 21, verse 13. 13.
Let's get them all together. Okay, so
Read it.
it
No,
says-
read it, read
yeah, I'll
it.
read it to you.
Yeah.
A prophecy against Arabia.
Thank you. Stop there now.
So
Isaiah
let's
was
just look at that
revealed.
word. Let's look at that word, Hebrew word. Arabia.
Okay, good. A prophecy about Arabia in the book of Isaiah, which was revealed in the 8th century BC sometime on the prophet Isaiah. Same time I'm talking about when the Assyrians had inscriptions about Arabs. Okay, my friend challenged me on that. I have given him evidence from the Bible that the Arabs are mentioned at that time in the Bible.
Okay, so the Arabs as a people are mentioned there in the Bible.
Thank you,
Okay.
thank you. So now you
where
accept.
are
Can you
they-
accept?
where
Can you
are they
before we
from?
move on? Can you accept that you were clearly mistaken on that?
Yeah, perhaps I was mistaken, yeah.
Okay, now let's move on. Okay, so the Arabs are ancient and they are
Yeah,
seen
seems
as the
like they're
birth.
mentioned
Okay,
here.
now keep reading this very passage. This passage will prove my point to you that Ishmael was in Arabia. Keep reading this passage. I will prove to you that this prophecy clearly refers to Muhammad. Not only this, even Deuteronomy 33:2 and Isaiah 42, the entire chapter is talking about Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But those,
Okay,
I mean, if we're
prophecy
spending so much
against-
time on
so
this,
this is a prophecy against the Arabs.
okay,
A prophecy against Arabia.
yes.
Your
And what's the prophecy?
You caravans of Dedanites who camped in the thickets of Arabia, bring water for the thirsty. You who live in Tamar, bring food for the fugitives. They flee from the sword, from the drawn sword, from the bent bow, and from the heat of battle. I think what it's saying is that,
Keep going, keep going.
Yeah.
I wanna lead to a point.
okay, this is what the Lord, but let's just clarify what this is saying so far, right?
No,
So
we're not
saying that-
discussing that prophecy yet. That's a
you-
prophecy for Islam, by the way, but continue. We'll talk about it
Okay.
another time.
Right, so
I'm trying to lead to a point.
This
Yeah.
is what the Lord says to me. Within 1 year, as a servant bound by contract would count it, all the splendor of Kedar will come to an end.
Okay.
Kedar, that's Petra.
No,
the
that's
survivors
not
of the
Petra.
ark-
Wait.
Yeah, it is. When you click on it, it talks about the cleft of the rocks. That's clearly Petra.
Okay. Now, I mean, are you sure you want to go into that?
Yeah,
Because we're going to spend another half an hour, and then we're going to come around half an hour later, and you're going to say, you know what, you were right.
You get one point right. You get 1 point
No,
right.
I
and
don't.
I humbly admit it. And
no,
you think
no,
that,
no.
that every point
no.
is right.
Petra was built by Nabateans. Are you aware of that?
Yeah.
And who were the Nabateans?
Let's have a look. Kedar. the word
No, wait.
Kedar. So the
Are
word-
you aware that Petra was built by Nabateans?
Look, I'm not sure. No,
I
I'm
am.
not sure.
I am.
I can't, yeah,
I
you
am.
have to give me a source
Okay.
for it.
Okay.
Go on. What's your point? Let's just go. Let's let you make your point.
If we stick to our points, then
Let's
we
stick
can
to
make
it.
some progress.
Okay, let's stick to it.
Kedar is in Arabia. Do you agree? According to the book of
Yeah, it
Isaiah.
seems to be on the face value of this passage that it's talking about Kedar in Arabia.
Seems to be. Are you sure? Seems to be. You just said seems to
Yeah,
be.
well, it mentions Kedar, but it doesn't tell us where Kedar is, right? So I'd
Well,
have
it's
to
a
look
prophecy
into that.
about Arabia.
Yeah, but we're not told exactly
Why?
where
No.
Arabia
Why is the Bible talking about Kedar in Arabia?
Well, it's talking about them being judged.
Okay. And where are they? According to this particular passage,
So-
where do you think Kedar is?
So Kedar seems to be in Arabia.
Okay, that's good. Who is Kedar now? Do you know who Kedar is?
It's the Ishmaelites, yeah.
No. Who is he?
Kedar himself,
Yes.
look, I'm not familiar with that.
Okay,
You have to tell me.
let's go to Genesis 25:13. Let's go.
So you're going to go by the name of a city.
No.
in Isaiah
Don't jump the gun,
on
please.
someone
Just
in
help
Genesis.
me so that we can finish this very quickly. Okay, Genesis 25:13.
Genesis 25.
I'll tell you who Kedar is.
Are these the sons of Abraham, right? Okay, which
These are the sons of Ishmael.
Oh, okay, right. It's good.
Okay.
What verse is that?
13, there, in front of you. There, yes.
Okay, so they're Arabian, right?
No.
Yeah, these are the names of the sons of Ishmael. You're saying that.
And what are the names?
Okay, and probably Kedar, that's probably
No, come on. Can you read the verses just like you were reading at your for
Okay,
yourself?
These
Yeah.
are the names of the sons of Ishmael listed in the order of their birth. Honestly, you want to pronounce them?
Navajoth, number 1, Kedar, then
Where's
Adbil.
Kedar? Sorry.
Kedar is there, number
there,
2.
yeah,
Number
yeah.
2, okay? And there are many more, okay?
Yeah.
12 sons.
Yeah, it was my
Okay,
point.
now, Kedar is in Arabia. We've already established
Yeah,
that.
it seems to be a city in Arabia.
And he is the second son of Ismail.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, so where do you think Ismail was?
In Arabia.
Thank you. That's my point. Okay, okay.
how
Now,
do we know that Muhammad was descended from
okay, okay. Now, here's another point. Remember, you made a claim that how do we know Ishmael was in Arabia, or Arabs are the children of Ishmael, right?
Yeah, no,
I've
you
just
proved
shown
every
you.
point.
I've just shown you that, and so this is the second point you have been corrected on. Agreed?
Well, no, I was happy to accept that. As
No,
soon as
no,
you
no,
made
you,
it's the same
no,
point.
you challenged
As soon
me.
as you
When
made
I
that
said the
first
Arabs
point.
were generally speaking,
Yeah.
the period we are addressing, 7th century BC before Christ,
Yeah.
right? The Arabs were the children of,
Yeah.
generally speaking, not all Arabs, of
Yeah.
course, because they were outskirts, but these Arabs we are talking about in particular,
Yeah.
Kedar in particular, and his
Arabia.
children, they are in Arabia.
Yeah, but
Ismail,
you know
so
as well as I
Paran,
know that we are talking about thousands of years between these
wait. Paran is Arabia. This is the point I'm trying to make, highlight, because according to book of Genesis, chapter 21, verses 17 onwards, Ishmael was left in Paran by his father.
Yeah.
And then he had children. He got married in Arabia, he had children, and then 12 sons. Kedar is clearly in Arabia because his children are in Arabia, according to the book of Isaiah, chapter 21:13, a prophecy regarding Arabia. So this is very clear now. This is why we connect Deuteronomy 33:2 to this prophecy in Deuteronomy 18:18. Why? Because that prophecy says, Lord came from Sinai. He rose from Mount Seir, and he shone forth from Mount Paran. 3 locations.
Yeah, but that
Let me
particular
finish.
prophecy
Let me
is
finish,
not
please.
talking
Let me
about-
finish.
that
It's
particular prophecy-
wait,
I'll let
man.
you talk for
Wait.
ages,
I'm
man.
finishing
You just
right
made
now.
another point.
I'm finishing
Okay,
right
you
now.
finish, right.
Okay. It mentions Deuteronomy 33:2 mentions 3 locations. Sinai,
Yeah.
Moses. It's
Yeah.
connected to Moses. Sire or Sa'ir in the
Yeah,
Arabic
this one before.
mountain range in Palestine. Paran is Arabia. So 3 individuals. You do definitely accept Moses from Sinai. You accept
It's not
Jesus.
3 individuals. Let's have a look at
3
the verse.
locations, I said.
Yeah, 3
locations. 3 locations
These are the
connected.
locations that Israel travelled in the Exodus.
Okay, wait. I am saying these are 3 locations, right?
Yeah.
Distinct locations.
Yeah.
And they are connected to 3 distinct personalities.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
They're the places that Israel travelled through the wilderness.
Okay. So what's happening in Paran? He's
But we're pretty much ready to wrap up. It's
shown
wrap up
forth.
this point.
He's shown forth from Paran. Paran is Arabia, and he came with 10,000 saints. So what happened in Paran? What
you've
happened?
given your
How
argument
did
about
Lord?
brethren.
How did Lord shone forth from Paran, from Arabia? What happened in Arabia?
Well, because Israel moved through there. Yeah, the people of Israel moved through
So
there.
why
and
is
eventually
Lord
into the
shining
promised land
forth? Like, I mean,
through his people.
when you read the verse,
Because
it says that he rose.
Let's have a look at the verse.
Okay, yeah, look at the verse, please.
What is it? Genesis.
Deuteronomy 33:2. What the verse is saying, there is,
And then once you finish
there
the
is,
brethren, I want to
there
make
is
my
a
point.
gradual elevation of the Lord, so to say, yeah, in the
33,
biblical language,
33.
that it starts from Sinai, it goes further up in Seir, and it reaches its peak in Paran. It reaches its peak in Arabia. So what happened in Arabia?
Okay.
Read.
So let's read this
Yes,
passage.
please, please.
This is the blessing that Moses, the man of God, pronounced on the Israelites before his death.
Okay.
He said, "The Lord came from Sinai
You're reading the, okay, yeah.
and dawned over them from Seir.
Okay,
He shone forth from Mount Paran.
yes.
He came with myriads of holy ones
Okay.
from the south, from his mountain slope. Surely it is you who love the people. All the holy ones are in your hand. At your feet they all bow down, etc., etc. The law that Moses gave us, the possession of the assembly of Jacob. He was king over Jeshurun, when the leaders of the people assembled." Do you want to keep going, or is that what
You wanted to read all of that.
Okay.
I'm
So-
concerned about one verse.
So
Okay.
it seems to me here that this is a blessing being pronounced over.
Oh, okay, so
over
in
the
other words,
nation of
it's a
Israel.
prophecy, right?
Well, no, it's not a prophecy.
Okay.
It's actually describing what's just happened.
Okay, what happened?
What's happened is that
What happened
God
in Paran?
has delivered, God has brought Israel out of Egypt through all these areas to the place where they are today, at the point of this
The
writing,
Jews
when they're
never,
about to enter
to
into
my
the promised
knowledge,
land.
in the time of Moses, never made it to Arabia. Did you know that?
They crossed, no.
Sinai.
Look, they crossed through the Red Sea. Right through
Okay,
that area.
where did they go?
And as well, Arabia, you're thinking down the
Moses-
bottom where Mecca
Moses-
is, but Arabia is much higher. It can be all of that.
Okay, so Arabia is
So
higher,
if you
but
look- if you look at Arabia,
is
let's
Makkah
look at a
Arabia?
map.
Is
Let's-
Makkah Arabia?
Yeah, I know, but this isn't saying Mecca.
It's not saying Makkah.
It's just
no,
saying,
no.
Didan, Kedar,
okay,
you know, these
okay.
places.
Wait. I will
Let's
prove
have
my.
a look.
I'll prove my
Where's
point.
Kedar?
Wait. I'll prove my point. Wait. Now you're saying Mecca is not Arabia. I'm saying Paran is Mecca. I'm saying that right now here, standing in front of you.
Have you
I'm
got
saying
evidence for that?
yes. Go, Genesis.
You want to go to Genesis?
Chapter 21, verse 17.
And then the last point, because I want to make,
Of
I want to give
course,
my argument as
of
to
course,
who the brethren
Of
is.
course, I'm saying Paran is Mecca. The wilderness of Paran, which is being addressed in Deuteronomy 33:2, this verse is directly talking about Mecca. So what happened in Mecca?
Genesis what?
21, chapter 21, verse 17. What's happening to Ishmael? Tell us.
So God heard the boy crying. This is when they
God heard the boy crying. Read loud so that we can all hear
God
you.
heard the boy crying,
Yeah.
and the angel of the Lord called to Hagar from heaven and said to her, "What is the matter, Hagar? Do not be afraid. God has heard the boy crying as he lies there. Lift the boy up and take him by the hand, for I will make him into a great nation."
Okay. 21. Sorry, verse 21.
21.
Yeah. No, there.
While he was living in the desert of Paran, his mother got a wife for him from Egypt.
Okay. I want to address the point where it talks about the well of water that emerged as a miracle under his feet. Okay. This is what I want to talk about. It's there in chapter 21.
Sorry.
Okay.
Verse 21.
No, not verse 21. Sorry. Okay, yeah. Then she went, from verse 16, then she went off and sat down about a bow shot away, for she thought, I cannot watch the boy die. And as she sat there, she began to sob. God heard the boy crying, and the angel of God called to Hagar. Okay, where is the discussion on the well? Yes. The God opened her eyes and she saw a well of water. Verse 19.
Yeah.
Same chapter.
Yeah.
Genesis 21, verse 19. Then God opened her eyes and she saw a well of water. So she went and filled the skin with water and gave the boy a drink. Why am I mentioning this?
Yeah, why are you mentioning it?
You know the biggest source of water in the Paran Valley, the Valley of Paran, which is usually called Hijaz. You know where it is?
No.
The well of Zamzam in Mecca.
Right, okay.
It hasn't dried. Okay, it hasn't dried to this day.
So that's
okay.
your argument as to why he's brethren.
Yeah. So
Did you want to
all
summarise it?
indicators.
Do you want to summarise
Yeah,
that, and then I'll
absolutely.
give my
The
argument?
well of Zamzam, the water that came out
don't want to give you
for,
all the airtime,
for Ishmael, was in the city of Mecca, is in the city of Mecca to this day. So Paran, where Ishmael was left, specifically where the water came out, was the valley of Paran, was a specific point, and that point is Mecca. So when Lord came from Sinai, rose forth from, you can call them assumptions. I'm saying if this was about Jesus, the Christians would go to Scandinavia, then to Alaska, then to South America, then to Australia, and then come back to Britain to prove that it was Jesus, like you do with all the prophecies about Jesus, right? You use so many reasons, so many indicators to prove that it's Jesus. And we're saying directly these references are there about Arabia, something's happening in Arabia. The book of Isaiah, the entire chapter 42 is talking about something happening in Arabia. No, we're not going to another one. I'm just mentioning these side points.
I think it's time for me to say something. Now,
Okay.
I just want to ask
But
you a quick
why do
question.
the Christians forget
If
that
you agree-
that approach?
If you agree that the word brethren can mean the fellow Israelites,
And the Arabs.
yeah, but you agree, right?
Yes.
Why would you choose one over the other?
Good, very good
Just a
question.
short answer, summary answer.
A fair question. Why? Because what the prophecy says otherwise fits in to the context of
Like
Muhammad,
what?
for example. Let me give you my quickly reason.
quickly, yeah.
So Moses like prophet. Okay? Prophet. Because it's not talking about Moses like person. Moses like
we've
human.
discussed what that means.
Yeah. You asked me, so let me quickly clarify what I mean, yeah? His prophethood would be like Moses. Whatever qualities Moses came with as a prophet, as a messenger, this is what God is talking about, right? Now, no one brought a new law except Muhammad. Even Jesus did not bring a new Torah. Moses came with the Torah, a comprehensive law. Only Muhammad, who came from Arabia, from Paran, brought that comprehensive law. Okay, Muhammad governed as a prophet. So did Moses. He governed his people as a prophet. He implemented law. He punished people. He applied the law of God on his people. Okay, Jesus, no Israelite prophet ever did that after Moses. Okay, I mean there were
Can I
few.
now tell
There
you
were,
why
I mean,
think-
of course.
Can I now share why I think
let me quickly summarize my point. They did. David, Solomon, Joshua. These people did apply the same law, but the law was the Torah. Okay.
Sure.
Muhammad came with a new law, a revision of the law of God, which is foretold again in the book of. The reason
Now
why.
I want to give why I think it's talking about the fellow
Sure,
Israelites.
please do, and I'll let you talk for as long as you want,
Okay,
right?
thank you. So-
In Isaiah 42, this law
Let me
is.
go to another one.
No. I'm trying to give you references as to why we believe, because
Yeah,
comprehensively.
but you've made your point. I think that's a simple
Last
point.
point,
And
last
now-
point, last point. The reason why it is not another Israelite prophet like Moses, even Jesus himself is not like Moses in that sense, in the prophetic sense, because the prophecy remained unfulfilled, and Jesus himself denied being that prophet.
Okay, now my turn.
Yeah.
So
Now,
the-
did you understand the last sentence?
Yeah.
Jesus
No, he didn't
denied.
deny being that prophet.
Okay, now that's the point we need to come back to next time.
Yeah.
Next in the next session.
Maybe another debate. The reason why I think it's fellow Israelites, first of all, is because within the context, if you look, that Moses is talking about the authority of Israel. So he talks about kings, and he says in chapter 17 that you shall not put a. I'll just read it to you. When it says in chapter 17, just the chapter before, when you enter the land the Lord your God is giving you and have taken possession of it and settle in it, and you say, let us set a king over us, like all the other nations around us, be sure to appoint over you a king the Lord your God chooses. He must be from among your brethren. Do not place a foreigner over you, one who is not an Israelite. So it seems very close here. The context seems to be talking about.
Where is this you're reading from?
This is chapter 17,
Okay.
verse 14. So it's just the chapter
Okay.
before that it's talking about.
But this is not connected to
the
it.
brethren. The second reason.
There's no connection here.
Well, yeah, because if you look at the overall context, it's talking about the authority within
So
Israel.
likewise-
Hang on, I didn't cut you off. I'll
Yeah,
let you do.
sure.
So you had the kings, you have the Levites is also mentioned in chapter chapter 18, the same chapter. But the other reason why it's talking about brethren is because, as I said earlier in the beginning of the debate, it's in your midst, in your inner parts, the word kereb, which is applied...
Okay, so give me a prophet like Moses then, in their midst.
In their midst. So when it
Give me a
says
prophet like Moses.
the point that I made at the beginning, which
Yeah.
you seem to have quickly forgotten about, is like Moses is not talking about any old thing like Moses. It's something
I agree.
very specific.
Yes.
The specific thing is that it says, the Lord your God will raise up for you a prophet like me from among you, from your brethren. You must listen to him, for this is what you ask
Yes.
of the Lord your God at Horeb
Right. Okay.
on the day of the assembly, when you said, let us not hear the voice of God, or the Lord our God, nor see this great fire anymore, lest
Okay.
we die. So like Moses is someone who directly speaks to God, directly, and hears his revelation as a general principle, receives that revelation, and then imparts that to the people. Now, you said Muhammad at one time spoke to God, but as a general rule, according to the Islamic tradition, Muhammad did not speak directly to God when he received his revelation, whereas this is saying that Moses
Neither did Moses.
Yes, he did.
He did not.
He did.
As a general rule, Moses was always speaking to God.
Yeah.
I asked you this question earlier.
Yeah.
The,
As a general
the
rule, he
entirety of the
received his
law, the
revelation.
entirety.
He would go up, receive his revelation, and he would share it with the people.
Okay. Now I'll tell you why this prophet is still unfulfilled. Or this
And
prophecy.
Jesus did that. Jesus spoke directly to God.
Okay.
Jesus spoke, he came by the Father.
No, Jesus is
Everything
God.
he said-
Jesus is God.
Yeah, the Trinity.
So,
yeah.
so he's not like Moses.
Yes, he is. Yeah,
How is he
when
like Moses?
Like Moses is not any old thing, because otherwise he would have to be an Israelite.
No, but
Because
Jesus
Moses was an
is
Israelite.
God.
Moses was an Israelite.
Jesus
So
can't
therefore
be-
Muhammad, it can't
Jesus-
be Muhammad because he wasn't an
Okay.
Israelite. That's
Okay.
the kind of argument you're making.
No,
right?
let me explain
so
why.
what I'm trying to say is
I'm
that
saying
like
Jesus
Moses
denied being that
doesn't
prophet.
mean- like Moses doesn't mean any old
Okay.
thing like Moses.
Let me give you a
It
direct-
refers specifically to the fact that very clear in the context that Moses
Okay.
spoke directly
Okay.
to God for the people.
Let me give you
and
my
then he imparted
argument
that
why.
revelation.
Okay. Firstly, before I move on to the next point, very quickly, because
I've actually got it.
no, we'll finish soon.
I've actually got to get
No problem. We'll finish.
actually disregarded
We will finish very soon. If I show you that that prophet is not Jesus, if I show you conclusively, that's the condition. Is the door open for Muhammad then?
No, it could be Paul. Why not Paul?
Because Paul was Paul was
Paul spoke
a
directly
less
to God too.
no Paul was less of a candidate than Jesus.
No.
I'll show you why.
Well, yeah,
I'll show you
I
why.
agree. Jesus is the candidate.
Thank
Jesus
you.
is the one.
Okay, let's see if
I would easily argue with
so
Paul
why not
before I
Muhammad?
argue
What's your problem with
Muhammad?
Muhammad? What's your problem with Muhammad? What's your issue?
Well, because what he
What if he was truly a prophet of God and foretold in the Bible? What if that is the
I've got
case?
no reason to believe Muhammad was a prophet.
Okay, no problem. You don't have any reasons yet. But if you were shown conclusive reasons, and when we do meet in the future, we will talk about Isaiah 42. Isaiah 42, we'll see whether that fits Muhammad or not. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Okay, I'm asking if Muhammad turns out to be a very viable option for that prophecy, then what? If that's the case, then what?
A viable option.
Yes.
I don't think just because you think that it's possible he could fit the criteria, I don't think that would be.
I'm saying if he is. If he
if
is.
he fits it.
Yeah.
Well, if he fits it, doesn't it? So,
That means he's a true prophet of
yeah,
God.
well, if he fits,
Okay.
If someone fits that
I'll tell
prophecy,
you
then-
why Jesus is not that prophet.
If it's definitely evidence that is that prophecy talking about him.
Yes.
Right. But I don't think there is.
Okay, no problem. I'll tell you why Jesus is not that prophet. In the Gospel of John, when John the Baptist is baptizing people in the River Jordan, you are aware of it, right? People came and asked him 3 questions. What were those 3 questions?
Are you Elijah? Are you the prophet? Are you the Messiah?
Okay.
One of those.
When they asked him, are you the Elijah? What did he say? No.
He said no, he wasn't Elijah.
Okay.
Not the physical Elijah.
Well, according to the book of Matthew, he was the Elijah. According to
Yeah,
Jesus.
that's because
There's
I
a
think
confusion there now.
Luke,
Okay.
Luke
Yeah.
actually, when the angel Gabriel actually
Yeah.
speaks to Zechariah as John the Baptist's father,
Right.
Gabriel understands that passage to mean someone coming in the spirit and power of Elijah.
Okay.
So he was right to say no to that.
Okay.
But he was still a fulfillment of that
Okay.
prophecy.
Okay. I leave the confusion for you to solve. Okay. Second question: Are you the Christ, the Messiah?
No,
He said no. Who was the Christ?
Jesus, but he didn't say Jesus was the Christ directly right then and there.
No, he didn't say that. He didn't say that. I'm saying who was the Christ to you?
Jesus. Yeah.
Jesus. Are you that prophet? That prophet. And what were they referring to?
Well, probably Deuteronomy 18. Yeah.
Not probably.
Yeah.
Biblical scholars.
Likely.
Biblical scholars are
likely that passage.
no. Biblical
I'm pretty much
scholars.
agreeing with you.
Okay. Good. We're in agreement. That means up to that point when John the Baptist in the 1st century CE is baptizing people in the River Jordan, the prophecy remains unfulfilled. Yes?
No, all that means is that the Jews saw a distinction, the Jews at that time saw a distinction between that prophet and the Messiah.
Yes.
But if we see other passages, I'm pretty sure Peter applies it to Jesus in the book of Acts, in his sermon on Pentecost. I have to double check that. But
Just double check it.
yeah, but it does seem to me that
Okay,
just because the Jews thought they were 2 different people doesn't mean it was necessarily so.
Okay,
because the
then
Jews got lots of things wrong about it.
good, no problem. I am asking now, if the Jews were wrong about forming a distinction in these 3 persons, that the Elijah is separate to the Christ and the Christ is separate to that prophet, okay? They can all,
That's what
not,
they thought, that was
no,
their- well, at least some of
I'm
their
leading to a
view.
point, If the Jews were wrong in that distinction, forming a distinction between these 3 people, why did Jesus not controvert that? Why did John the Baptist remain? Was John a prophet of God?
Well, probably because, like...
Probably.
No, listen to me. Look.
No,
I
John
used
the
word
Baptist.
probably. No, I wasn't answering your question. I was
Yeah.
answering your first question.
Right.
where you said-
No, finishing right now.
Yeah,
Because
see, bro, nice to meet you, by the way.
you're going to leave after Maghrib? Okay. We're just finishing right now and we're going to leave. I'm going to leave with you guys. Yes.
I'll have to think about that passage you mentioned, by the way, the one in Samuel. You got a lot of homework to do. See it, right?
Okay, so the point is, yes. So if the Jews were wrong in forming that distinction between 3 persons, if they were wrong, as you are claiming they were wrong, John the Baptist, who is a prophet of God, listening to rubbish, listening to errors and mistakes, his job is to correct them, like Jesus corrected the Jews many times.
Yeah, but sometimes, Jesus didn't, and John the Baptist perhaps as well, didn't correct people because he knew.
So they left them
in
in error.
Left them in error. Like
I don't agree with that.
Very clearly, that's why Jesus.
So
spoke
why
in
was
parables,
Jesus?
it says.
So why was he
Because
correcting
their
them?
hearts were already hardened. and he just left them to the hardness
But
of
why
their
was he
heart.
correcting them at other times on lesser important issues?
You'd have to show me an
Issues-
example so I can show you why in that situation he corrected
When-
them.
when Jesus-
But we know for sure that Jesus clearly spoke in parables. It says, so that they wouldn't hear, because they had already rejected so much, he got to the point where he didn't want them to hear anymore.
So are you not aware of any examples of Jesus correcting the Jews
Yeah.
on minor issues?
Top of my head.